Good evening, everybody. Can I get a quick volume check? Can you hear me okay? Am I a bit loud? I look like I might be a bit loud. And can you hear the game? Happy Easter, everybody. Just waiting for some confirmation that audio is working. And video is working. I can see video is working. But audio I can't see. It's difficult to see. AV 10 out of 10. You are fine. But how's the picture? Right, okay, what we'll do is, if when we get into the game the audio is drowning me out, or you think the game should be a bit louder, the game can't really be any louder at the moment, I don't quite know why, but I can certainly shut me up. Right, okay, I hope you enjoyed yesterday's stream with Sam, that was very good, but you're stuck with me today, sorry about that. We're doing Northern TransPennine, we're going to be doing the heavy freight pack. The audio is terrible, microphone is working, please sort it out. No, Moggy. Right, so yeah, we're going to be doing the heavy freight pack tonight, and I have made myself some instructions about the 4 services that we're going to try and run tonight if we have time. So we're going to start off with a bit of Moggy will like this bit, a bit of Gronk shunting, and we're going to start off in the summer. Got to do this in a little trick actually with this. If you want to use the some of these heavy freight pack scenarios are quite early in the morning, and if you do it in the summer it'll be light and you can see what you're doing. If you do it in any other season it won't be light and you can't see what you're doing. Alright, we're going to do NH01 first. This is at 4:30 in the morning, so needs Gronk hype. Yes, totally. Right, we are going to be moving around with some wagons, so we need that to switch to vacuum brakes. And I need that set to forward. I need this released. And we need to pull forward. Doing a bit of shunting first. Then we're going to do a bit of time travel. See? You get everything on this stream. You even get time travel. Oops, hello. Forgot I was on a gradient here. Long day of streaming, yeah, really. I'm streaming all day. I love the Gronk. Such a nice loco. How's the stream? Is that coming through a bit on the dark side? The dark side. Oh, hello. Try and colour match that to what I'm seeing. Oh, hello. No. Right, we're going to find buffers here in a minute. Let's just worry about buffers. Watch, turn the power off. Train lights aren't very good on trains. It's kind of a defining feature of train lights. They're useless. That's what they're not really meant for you to see. Because anything they could show you is by and large not going to be of any use to you by the time you can see it. Certainly in the UK and Europe. Less so in America. They tend to drive with searchlights on, but right, let's move back. Right, why can't I make this look right? Whoa! Well, actually, that's not far off what I'm seeing on my screen. Accidentally landed on about the right settings. Why does the 155 have such a weird horn? I don't know, Dominic. Right, we are going to be shunty wagons. Why is there no support for joysticks, especially throttles? Just haven't got to it yet. Hopefully it'll be coming at some point. It's not there yet. Right. That one. That one. That one's good. That one. And we're good to the waypoint. Excellent. Excellent. Hey, Anna on the moon, how are you doing? Long time no see. You like the headphones? Oh yeah. That's what it's all about. My headphones have become iconic. People come here to see the headphones more than they do the trains. There's a stop point here. We should probably at least pretend like we're going to stop on it. Oh, harsh, train boy. Harsh. Right. Cross that one over there. That one in there. That one's good. And that one needs to go down to that one. Good. Let's go get. Did I get any chocolate today? No. What did I think of Picard? Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Did you, bad guy? Apologies, I didn't see that. Right, so we are pulling forward. We've got two cuts of wagons, or two rakes of wagons. We're going to merge them together, or we're going to move them into the sidings. We can basically move them, I think, into these two roads here. And then later on, we make them into a train and we take them places. And we're going to be doing all of that. How is Dimitri doing? He's doing well. He's on the chat. Ask him yourself, Sophie. Dimitri, how you doing? I'm set to vacuum at the moment, which is what I need to be for the vent bands. We'll soon see if it's on the right setting, because if it's on the wrong setting, we ain't going anywhere. As the meme says, you'll be going nowhere. Or we'll be going nowhere. No. Right, let's see how that works. I might have to do that. Oh yeah, we're still close enough. Right, let's move the reverser back. Hey, we're going. So we can't do marshal instructions in TSW, Anthony. So every instruction has to be fully specified so that an AI train can do it. And we can't get the player to figure stuff out until the AI can figure stuff out. Otherwise, service mode doesn't work. But that's on the list of things to look at. These are all solvable problems.
This is a service. It is NH Newton Heath 01. NH01. It's I think the first one. Yeah, it will be the first one. Make sure you run it in summer, otherwise it's dark. Very dark. Right, now I need that row. No, I don't. Don't be silly. I need that row. That's it. Brakes off. Car pull forward. Push forward. Do the thing forward. See you later, Ethan Henderson. Thank you for stopping in. If I turn off my HUD, basically all that will happen is trains will crash. Which might be amusing, but it wouldn't help the purpose of the goal. I'm not familiar enough with the routes to drive them without HUDs on. I do run with signal aspect switched off though. Any plans on adding journey mode for every freight pack? I'd like to. There's no plans to announce at the moment. I'd like to get missing journey modes in for all of them, but right, keep going, keep going, keep going. Cut the power. Wait for the bounce. Okay, brake on. That might have gone too far. Let's go and have a look. Oh, crikey, yeah. I did hit it a bit on the hard side, to be fair. How does it look now? Is that coupleable? If I can't tell where the joint is, it's probably not too bad. Shall we go and have us a Luke? Are you coupled? You're coupled. Are you coupled? You're coupled. The arrow tells me where to look, you dummy. Right. We have our vans. Let's just move them back. Are you a freight driver? So in this service I am a yard shunting driver. Oh yeah, learning to being able to run without the HUD is really what you want to get to. That's your goal for full-on proper experience. Like I said, I'm not quite there yet, and certainly not on one of these streams where an accident would be a bad thing. A bad thing. Right. All we've got to do now is make sure we don't run that red light. Hey Stephen, I'm doing very well. How are you on this Easter Sunday? Dimitri, is there a release date on the Beato 04 yet for Will W? The 21st of April, there you go. Jaff, thank you very much for the mixer sparks. Much appreciated, sir. Beato 04 is coming to console, yes, Quebec. Same day as everything else. Right, where are we, Putnam? We are Putnam. And that road over there. Yeah, BR stands for the German for what the word that essentially is class.
I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I pronounce it very badly wrong. On the other window. We'll pretend that we've got someone spotting us. John Wooler, yeah, 204 coming to console, yes it is. JP, thank you for the 10,000 sparks, much appreciated. Moggy, thank you for the 300. That's the one, Tordek and Horst, yes. 822, would it ever be possible to add more services or scenarios for Caltrain Shunter? Services is probably a bit more tricky. I mean, in theory, anything is possible. Scenarios, that's just a question of time, really, yeah. Lord Winter had an incident last night where you fell asleep going down the track and rammed into London Paddington at 125 miles per hour. Well done, sir. Well done. No plans for the BR204 on other routes yet, John Muller. Let's put the loco brake on so I know we're secure. Uncouple the vehicles. Hello, Mr. Buggy. Oh, on couple 5 vehicles. One day I will follow the instructions as they are given to me. I am not holding my breath. By the way, did you know you can get inside the goods vans? Who didn't know that? Put your hand up. Who's thinking, wait, what? I'll get in the vans in a minute then. Stephanie, Northern Transpennine is an amazing route. I'm going to do as long as we've got time, I'm going to do a run across the entire length of the route with these vans. Because what happens, the storyline goes that we take these vans out of storage and we put them into the depot like we're doing at the moment. Then, sometime later, time passes, as they say, and we will just skip to another scenario, skip forward in time to that. The wagons are then recombined into a train ready to be shipped out. Then that train is shipped out. Then wagons are added, wagons are taken away in Huddersfield, and then the train finishes up in Leeds. I think it's quite interesting. It's a bit different, which is why I thought I'd try and run it on this stream. Right, so I need to go that way. You just need to follow the blue, click the marks so that you follow the blue marker. If you notice when you hover over it, it goes purple. So that tells you where it's going in this complicated mess of junctions. Brakes off. Have I ever worked on the railway? No, I haven't, my dog Smith. My history actually professionally is a software developer myself, but working in call centre software and online banking security and exciting stuff like that. It was actually quite exciting. I quite enjoyed it, but this is more fun. Citrus sausages, yes, we're on Northern Transpennine. We're following the line, we are. Jedi, sorry, what was your question? Get spotted into the siding. Hey there, Train Truck Trav, happy Easter to you too. Will there ever be a Surfliner? Ever is a really long time, Jedi. So I'm going to say probably there will, at some point between now and the expiry of the universe, probably be a Surfliner. But there's nothing official to announce it, no. I'd like to see the Surfliner, I think it's a cracking route. Mr. Vice, how big is the dev group? I don't know how big the dev studio is exactly. The whole company is about 150 people. But that includes HR, marketing, publishing, all sorts of amazing people, accounts. Without whom we couldn't do what we do. Right, so we are going to pop out of here now. Actually, I'm going to make sure I've got a loco brake on. Okay. So yeah, these wagons, you unlock the door and then you open the doors and then you can climb up and go inside. And you can get trapped in here as well. You can go for a ride. If you do this roundabout the service for when they go on the main line, make sure you spawn on foot a little bit beforehand, climb into one of the wagons and then just sit and take a passenger ride hanging out of a wagon, if that's what floats your boat. That one first, then that one, and then lock the door again. Right, let's get on with what we're supposed to be doing. What does XP mean on those brown vans? Oh, I should probably know that, but I can't remember. I don't know if Ed's here, is he? Ed would know. Someone shout at Ed. Boom! Express passenger. That'd be one interpretation, possibly not the health and safety version. Express parcels, is that what it is? There you go. That sounds more likely. Right, so that's the first scenario done. So now we're going to do NH04, where we combine them into a train ready to go. So I'm going to go back to the main menu. This is a service, Scania. I'm doing a series of services. So the next service, which again I'll do in the summer to avoid problems with it being too dark. So that was NH01. We're now going to do NH04. Vans to Red Bank? No. No, that's not the one. That was that one. No, what am I doing wrong here? So it's not NH04, that's Vans to Red Bank. Shall we do Vans to Red Bank? Then we do Vans Return to Newton Heath. What was this? Oh, I planned all of this in advance, can you tell? Me either. Then we want Van Collection. Collect a rake of van wagons in readiness for a mainline move. That's NH08. I put NH09. Ah, man, I've done a superb job of prep on this. And then Vans to Leeds is the other half. Van Collection. Oh, I see. So it's N8, N9, N10. Those are the three that run with that one. We'll do the move. We'll do another one with the 08 because we've got to do more with the 08, and we'll do the Vans to Red Bank.
which is a bit of a run up to the other sidings. Let's do that now. IXP branding means express passenger. It was loaded to rated. Hang on. Stock that can be coupled in passenger formations with no speed restrictions. Long wheelbase, typically 15 foot for 75 miles per hour maximum speed. There you go. So it's express passenger. Doesn't mean it is passenger stock. It means it can be fitted in with fast passenger trains. Because it clearly wasn't passenger stock. Although most rail fans probably wouldn't complain. It would be exciting, let's be honest. Right. Before we do anything too funky, let's make sure we're on... No. Normal. It's on vacuum already. Excellent. Class 86, yes, I agree. Class 86 would be awesome. What's the exhaust jet? It's part of the brake, the vacuum brake system. It's used to create the vacuum, and it exhausts the air out of the system. It's either that or the bit that makes you run up and down the track all the time on doing points and things. That exhausts you as well. That may not be the right answer. Right, let's go back. We're not doing the same scenario. We're a good half an hour later on. So there's the wagons we moved. This is the other 08 that was sat at the beginning when we started. Welcome back, Forza Horizon 4 driver. Oh, right, so we get to the blue marker here and we stop. How is Glenn Galt doing? I haven't heard from him for ages. Right, so where are we going now? We are going that way, then the blue line, that way, good, that way, good. That way, good. That's the go via. Good, good, good. You love the 101? Yeah, I like the 101 as well. I think it's awesome. The Class 31 and 101 doesn't look right, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Trust me. Your dog speaks the truth. Could you get a signed photo of Dimitri? Well, you'll have to ask Dimitri that question. I passed up the opportunity to be Dimitri's agent. I'm kicking myself now, I tell you. Is it a new DLC? No, this is the heavy freight pack. It's on sale at the moment, as I believe is Northern Transpennine. So if you haven't seen these and you like what you see, it's on sale, so it's cheaper. $12 hours today, oh dear. Lord Winter, the 101 does not have a clutch. It has gears, but it does not have a clutch. Right, that one, that one. That one, and that one, and that one, and that one is good. Night, Stephanie. I'm not on sale. What are you talking about, Banker? They wouldn't take me.
I begged. I said I'd pay, and they still weren't interested. You have all the DLC, but you haven't played this one. Oh, well, you've been missing out. You've been missing out. But you say, I wonder why, like you know the answer, bad guy. Do tell, because they wouldn't tell me. Right, okay, let's set for our new path. That's good, that's bad, that's good. And that gives us our first reek of wagons. So we couple these and we then run them up to Redbank. I keep wanting to say Redcar, but it's not Redcar. We're in the wrong route for it to be Redcar. It's a red place. Hey Matthew Whitmore, welcome. Richard, so I am aware that there is an issue where some of the wagons, if you look at them, they seem to be spawned on top of each other in a couple of locations. I know what the problem is. There is a fix-in test for that. Hopefully that'll be out shortly. Hey, Awesome Gold Minecart. Yes, I'm seeing you. Sorry. Oh, wobbly, 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 wobbly. Someone gave me the 50p coin wheels. Got a couple of me some wagons. I believe there's a manual for the MP15 DC in progress, Len. This is Northern Transpennine, Logpoo 700. Right, where are we going? Why does it think I still haven't coupled to wagons? It's all going wrong. Oh no, they're the other wagons I should be going to get. It's not going wrong at all. I prematurely declared it was going wrong. It has not yet actually gone wrong. Woo! Oh, nice one, Gold Cart. Gold Minecart, sorry. It was a failed fail. Let's get it right. It's a failed fail. There you go, Train Boy got it right. It's a failed fail. Actually, the fail is that I normally, when I set these up, I normally set the instructions so you go out and then back and then out and then back. And I didn't here, so dev fail. Hey Dan, fire truck. Since you're home, you made your first ever entry in the screenshot contest. Excellent, 82. I look forward to hopefully seeing that in the winners pile then. No. Give it some beans. Turn these things into matchsticks.
Jopu 700, this is Northern Transpennine. Manchester Leeds. Oh, I hear something throttling up. There he goes, look. Woo! At 37. Ed. Ed. Right, how are the locks coming through here? Just got to wait for a signal then. Oh, he's going to puck into that siding. I think he then comes back out. Soon find out. That junction is locked in there, so I have to just hang tight a bit. I'm going to hold here and wait for him to do his move, because I think he comes back and couples onto some stuff. Couples onto these over on Brightly when he gets himself in gear. What am I drinking, True Quaker? I'm drinking tea. Yeah, I can't change this. You see the way this is routing? I can't change that switch. It's an automatic because it's routed for this train to come out. This switch here is actually changing this side of it, not that side of it. This signal will be what changes this, so I can't. Oh, that one. That's fine. Trailing points don't matter. Trading points don't matter. I've got plenty of coffee under here as well, Train Tractor, don't you worry. I can't remember how long you have to wait for this. We'll wait for a bit and then we'll rage quit. There's no I/O functions, unfortunately, in the game, Alvalad. The gamer that plays Train Sim, nice. Could try pulling forward. I was aiming to just stay out of his way. Not too much closer than that. Well, that won't work. As soon as I hit that light, I'll get stopped. Citra sausages. Insta-bang. No, I think this is deadlocked somehow, because I'm sure that's not a timed instruction to come out. Can I blow the whistle? Got all excited, thought I heard something growling there. What are you doing, you stupid train? Jump into the 47 and move it yourself. Yeah. There's nothing telling it can't. I think I can see what's wrong here. This is he's in automatic signal territory and he's got no signal to jump back, so that's actually a bit of a failing in the yard. I bet I'm going to lose my Gronk. I'm going to lose my Gronk when I do this. This is... I'm on foot now, apparently. I'm just on foot. Wait, does it say I'm on foot when I'm in the cab as well? Because that would be why it's not routing me out. If it doesn't think this is an active service. Oh. Yeah, that would be bad. I don't know what's going on there then. Why does it say I'm on foot? Fails. Let's go and play with the 47. What are you waiting for? You're in my way. Get out. I'm driving this train. Yes. That Gronk's moving, isn't it? No, don't move. Stupid train. It's gone as far as it can because the junction's set wrong. Well, duh. Right, okay. Let's do this old school. I have no idea what's going to happen here. It'll be fine in or on the moon. Nothing's going to go wrong. It'll be fine.
Shut up. I'm coupling up to you because you're incompetent. Now, as long as it doesn't get bright ideas after I've done this, we'll be able to remain friends. Stay there. No, he's moving again. Now I'm going to get spad. Ding. Oh well, we tried, we failed. Let's try something else. I don't know what I did wrong there. But the fact that I was sitting there and it said I was on foot while I was sitting in the cab meant that Dispatcher had no idea it had to route me, which is why it failed. Let's try that one more time. It'll be fine. Actually, no. What was the next thing I was going to do? So that was the Gronk. We were going to do NH08 next. Let's just jump straight to NH08 like nothing went wrong. Alright, boom pop there, boom pop there. Continue. NH08. Right. Exactly, Dimitri. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Right, where are we? We're here. Let's head over to Newton Heath and do some stuff. So I need to do that one. I need to do that one. I want to do that one. Do that one. Let's put my top light on, put instrument lights on. Put that one, top light on. And we'll shut them down. Done. Now I've got to go and find a step. Hey EC, how's it going? Right. These are train indicators. There's patterns. It's 4 of those plates on the front. They're an old way of indicating what kind of train this is. Doesn't really get used anymore, even at this point. So it kind of doesn't matter what you set them to. But you can play about with them, do as you wish. Be creative. It'll annoy nobody. So in the heavy freight pack, you get the Class 08, those vans that we were shunting earlier on. You get the Class 40, which I'm using right now, and the TEA tankers. ET. Trainboy, Class 213. There's lots of routes being suggested all the time. I would suggest you go onto the forums.dovetailgames.com, make your suggestions on there. I can't tell you about future plans on these streams, I'm afraid. You'll just hear me repeat and say, I can't tell you about that. I can't talk about that. But
go and have a look at your at the forums and the suggestion forum, and tell us what you want to see in there. Right, light engine run up from Manchester to Newton Heath. Oh, I love the Whistler. Sounds awesome. Looks awesome. Surprisingly weak though. Considering it looks like it ought to be an absolute powerhouse. It's kind of weak. Wouldn't the bottom centre plate be light engine? Yeah, probably actually. For a Class G, but I don't know if these follow that classification, David. I haven't got a clue, to be honest. So, Tintin, this one is NH08. That's in Newton Heath 08. Yeah, 2,000 horsepower, but very heavy train. So it's equivalent of power, but it's such a heavy train. Gives it a lot of track grip, I guess. Coffee's better than tea in all ways. I think we need to have a discussion about this. Well, actually, there isn't a discussion to be had. You're just wrong. Alright, Miles Platting. Right halfway there. Short journey over to Newton Heath. This is a Class 40, Joseph Dove. We're going to go and collect some standard vans and then have a run up to Leeds. No, you can't drive the 37 on NTP. It'd be in the wrong livery. It's in the wrong time period. And the wrong subclass for 37. Because there's 37.5s, I think, on T's in rail freight steel sectors, which is not appropriate for this era of route, which is why it's not been done. I was waiting for you to chime in, Train Track Trav. Passenger trains stop at Miles Platting. The 101s quite often stop there. The express trains don't. And current day trains don't stop there because the station's been long gone. See you later, train boy. Lyric, thank you for the mix of sparks. That's the word I was trying to think of. MDH Games. Which German, British and American route DLCs have been the favourite to make? Oh dear. I mean, of the ones that I've been involved in, I really enjoyed putting the heavy freight pack on this. I can't speak for the rest of the team. I don't know what their favourites were. I enjoyed putting the freight pack into, or the switcher layer into Peninsula Corridor. That was good fun. Main Spessebahn is my favourite German route after Halbstrecke Rheinrohr. The new German Halbstrecke Rheinrohr is my favourite German route, but the Main Spessebahn is my next favourite one. Horn. Do I have cab sway on? I do, but we're not really. You're not going to really see much at this kind of speed and on straight track. Could console have a PZB release key on the controller? You find me a spare key and I'll look at it, but there aren't any. That's why I've joined them together with the controllers, that the C for reset and the PZB get their own key. Okay, sorry, are on the same key because there aren't any spare keys. Right, we're dropping to 15, which is fine. We're already dropped below 15, so stop panicking. That's good. That's good. I forgot there was a downhill drop as we come in here. It's not a downhill drop, that's an uphill drop. An uphill drop? What logic and nonsense are we waffling about? Have I seen a Class 58 ever? Yeah, Tinged Lime. I loved the Class 58. I used to have, we got models of the double O gauge models of them on the railway. It's a really nice model on TS1 that Skyhook Games did as well. Nothing in TS World yet though, I'm afraid. Lord Winter, appreciate that. I'll pass that on to the team. There's our wagons sitting in there. See you later, Moggy. Enjoy your flying. Oh, the rumble of the 101s as we roll into the yard. Right. So I can shut this cab down. Let's turn the marker light off, instrument lights off. We didn't turn AWS on because we're rebels. No. We're sitting in the hot seat today. What are you doing over there? Right, I'm going to put the bottom left and bottom right on, I think, which is A side, B side, and instrument lights, which I believe is what it's defaulted to. On here, yes it is. Alright, so the brake's coming back off. After that, let's right. Lots of route suggestions coming in. Get them all on the forums, folks. You like the East Coastway 313? Excellent. I enjoy running a 377 as well. What crashes are you seeing? Oh, hang on. Don't. This thing just dragging the what's-its along on their own. Needs to be in the other cab. I knew I'd forget. When I started, I thought to myself, make sure you set it to vacuum. And then I started driving and I realised, okay, when you get to the other end, make sure you set it to vacuum. Vacuum brake goods. What did I do? I forgot. Now we should just be able to roll. There we go. Much better. That was that. So now we move on to the following service, which I think I can just hit return to free roam on and be given instructions. Boom! 6:45. That's it's about a minute away if we can wait a minute. Even I can wait a minute. Hey Tyrone, how's it going? Maybe it's a 45 we put different horns on. Is the arrival of new consoles going to enable more trains on routes or longer routes? It won't affect the length of routes because you can already do longer routes. It takes a long time to make them, but it might have an effect on the longer trains and more trains. That's where processing horsepower is needed. Vacuum brake will eventually release. You got a new job, Tyrant? Excellent. There comes the brakes. Eventually. What's going on with these brakes? Does it reset itself? Have you reset yourself? That's what you've done, isn't it? Someone's in here playing with my settings. No, that is vacuum brake. It's better. Got 2 whites, so we're clear out. Right, let's go. 20 miles away. What's interesting about this service is you get to use a piece of track which is used precisely once in this pack, which is this bit here. Going from Newton Heath to Leeds, you use a different bit of track. Fun fact. Stop stealing my points. How long of a route can be handled in TSW? No idea, David. Haven't found a limit. What we find the limit to is the amount of time it takes to make it. That's where the problem comes. We're going downhill a little bit at the moment, so I don't need to put too much power on. How does a driver know when the speed up signs reach the back of the train? So normally, you'd have a gauge. You'd have a driver. There is no mark on. There is nothing on the road on the track to tell you. You'd have an idea of how long your train was, and you'd be able to judge it, or you'd have a rough guess, and really it wouldn't matter if you were a little bit out. But if you were on the side of caution, then you're all right. Some of the modern trains have got train length indicators, so as soon as you go past the button, past the speed limit, you press a button, and then it beeps when the rear of the train has got to the point you press the button at. So you can use that. But older trains like this don't have mod cons like that. Slow down! Stealing my points. I want points. Us southern men open up as soon as the cab has passed the restriction in BR days. There you go. Will Dovetail ever do a flight sim? Been there, done that. London Undies? That sounds like a different simulator, Sir Harry. See you later, Quebec. Pushka, this is Northern Transpennine, and I'm running with the heavy freight pack. In particular, I'm driving a Class 40. Train Sim has some online features, but it's more about the things like mastery and achievements and things. The actual game itself is fundamentally an offline game. London Underground Train Sim mod, yeah, that'd be good. I like the idea of London Underground. Right, I need to give it some power. Actually going uphill now. Bit more amps. Off we go. Can we make it to Leeds before the end of the stream? Bearing in mind there will be shenanigans at Huddersfield. Why did TSW not launch as a multiplayer game? Because it became clear that the development needed to focus on improving the single player experience before adding a multiplayer experience and making things more complicated. That was the main feedback coming in. Of course, you can stream as long as you want today. 3 to 4 hours is fine. Oh, fair enough. Thank you, Dimitri. Appreciate that. You have to not fall asleep though, Dimitri. Progress on the editor. There's nothing to report, I'm afraid. Once there's something to report, then rooftops will be shouted from. You just woke up. What? There's a name for people like you, Dimitri. And that name is well rested. That's probably not what you thought I was going to say, yeah? Right, we're on the main. Let's get going. Let's crank this thing up. Well, I am missing those windows. And the other door. Is this one open? Yes. How do you research new tracks? So it's a combination of stuff, really. Google Earth. We'll go and visit the railway and take photographs. There's technical diagrams we try and get hold of for signals and other information. Just all sorts of stuff, really. And not all things are available on all routes, so sometimes it's just making the best of what you can get. It's 6:50 in the morning, it's summer, it's crisp, it's lovely. Get that window open, Rick. Mark, sorry, what were you saying? I am missing occasionally some of the things people say. No offence intended, I assure you. Is there station markers on the track? No. What you'll need to do there is learn the route. If you want to run without the HUD, you need to drive the way a driver drives, which is to learn the route. And know that, after this, I know that, for example, I'm currently heading, I think, sort of northeast, and I'm going to be turning left and heading north-ish. And at some point we hit Staley Bridge, and that's a drop to 15 miles per hour limit. And we go around the sharp corner into Staley Bridge plus a signal box, get into the tunnel, round about the dwarf signal, speed limit comes back up. That kind of thing is the sort of information as that you pick up. As the more you learn the route and the more you know it, you can remember where you are. The Watercress line. Yeah, there's a number of people requesting different reserve railways. And a lot of people saying they don't like to drive 25 miles an hour. Yeah, they learn the route. Totally, Bryn. Yeah, if you're a real driver, you have to learn the route. I mean, in the real trains, where would you put in a train like this an indicator telling you where the next station is? You wouldn't. You just have to learn that route. And in fact, you're not allowed to drive on your own until you have learned that route. Glad you're enjoying it, Mark. Well, what we do, 738 Photography, is we'll quite often send someone out to a route. And they'll get the photographs that way. Obviously we can't do that at the moment. But lots of other people have already done the photographs. You can look on various resources sites. You can find tons of photographs. If a route is interesting enough that people want to see it in the game, the chances are it's a route that's interesting enough that people want to visit it and photograph it in real life. So they tend to work hand in hand, and you can find lots of reference online. So shortly after the 75 is where we get the notice for the reduction. There's the TEA tankers, these come in there with freight pack. Yeah, Briar is actually a driver in the UK. Thanks, Briar. So the HUD features, things like when's the next speed limit, where is the next signal, and all of this stuff here are all designed to help you because you are not a trained train driver. You're not someone with the experience of a train driver. As you gain experience, so you can start turning these assists off. Drive like that, like a proper train driver. I'm not doing that though. Hey there, Damien on Mixer. Hey Caroline Gibbs. TSW is in the racing game bit. Yeah, I know. They don't really have a proper simulation category as far as I'm aware. Don't know why. You can turn the different bits of the HUD off on the PS4, Mark, but you can't turn the whole thing off. If you've got a keyboard though, This is what I use on my PlayStation. I use one of these things, a Bluetooth keyboard. If you've got one of those, then yes, you can. You can just press the F1 key on that. Or if you've just got a normal USB keyboard from your PC, you can just plug that in, press F1, and you can get the same stuff. Yes, Woody is an engineer as well. Alright, we're coming up on the 75, so we're going to get a reduction to 15 and come up pretty shortly. Although we've got plenty of time to get slowed down. We're not running a heavy train. Eds, another driver. Avoid using landmarks here because especially distant landmarks aren't visible in dense fog when you really need your route knowledge. Can you use a mouse on console? No, you can't use a mouse on console, unfortunately. You're enjoying it, are you, Nigel? Excellent. Glad you are. Thank you for staying along. Let's put some more brakes on. How are the DTG team coping with the lockdown 738? Very well, actually. On the whole. It's obviously a different situation for everybody. Some of them have got kids who are not in school, and that's obviously creating extra challenges, but the whole team has stepped up to the challenge, admirably. We're all working from home now. We used to have we usually have a team meeting on a Tuesday where the entire company get together. It's a company meeting, and then the various teams from the company will do briefings about what's happening. So I think we're going to have like a Train Sim 1 briefing this coming Tuesday, and then I'll probably be fishing after that, and then me after that, and then there's any other messages coming in from like HR or any questions that anybody's got about anything, and then the board will answer those questions. It's really good. It's a great place to work, I'm telling you. Right, 15 miles per hour coming up. I must admit, I'm the same with car. If I'm in a car with someone else, and they're teaching, they want to show me how to get to their house, for example. This is before the days of the nanny machine that has built in all the cars now. If they were in the car telling me where to go, I would not be able to find it the next time around. But if I plan the route on a map, I'm talking before sat-navs, I plan the route on the map and find my way there, it's memorised. I'm there the next time around. So I've driven there on my own, then I know how to do it. And it only normally takes a couple of times to get it pretty much spot on. Future Guide, thank you for the sparkle points. So any news and updates on the older routes? Find the overhead lines not clear and faint. Mark, you're on what platform are you on? If you're on PC, I recommend switching to FXAA rather than TAA. That can help. It makes them certainly flicker less, and you can't change that on consoles. Otherwise than that, no, there's nothing. I've got nothing about that I can share. So we're going through the 15, and then once we get a little ways into this tunnel, we'll get the upgrade to 60 miles an hour, and then we can get back on with this journey proper. You're on PS4, Mark? Yeah, no, there isn't. But the temporal the anti-aliasing setting is not available there. Derek, are your comments working? I can see you. Yes, I don't know if I've missed anything previous. Raspberry, no, I've got standard vans behind me. I have a short train of standard vans. By the time we get to this signal, we should get a bump in speed. There we go. How come there's no ASI for Long Island Railroad, but there is for DC? You'll have to remind me what you mean by ASI. Oh, throttle up. David Whiting, thank you very much for everything you're doing as a key worker. Did DTG offer a tutorial day in Chatham? Nothing we do with Thumbing at the moment, but that's one for Dimitri maybe. Right, beans have been inserted. We are now giving it the beans. Any steam locos in the making for TSW? Nothing at the moment, Derek, but there's plan. Well, yes, we want to do steam engines, but there's nothing snaps at the moment. Chatham to London Victoria or Raynham to London Victoria? Yes, me too. Me too. Giving it to my local line. Automatic station information. That's not on PC either. Can't remember who else. Oh, Justin. So out of this pack, 40 or 08, what would be your preference? If you were going to say do something right now, would it be 40 or would it be an 08? Let's get a general show of hands. Are you a Gronka or a Whistler? There's no news on the next UK route at the moment, BT. Keep an eye on the usual news outlets. Lots of people saying 40, only one person so far I think saying 08. A couple of people saying 08, but most people saying 40. Bryn, so due to lack of controls that are available on the controller, it's the quick button is only mapped to the to one tone. What you can do is look at it. Where is the horn? There it is. If you look at it, you can operate the horn directly if you want to do both, but that's a bit of a pain. I was hoping they'd put about another 30 buttons on the new generation controllers. Make them into like mini keyboards. And then call them PCs. No, don't. Let's not start that debate. Thank you, Bino Bot. Happy Easter to you. Will there be a train controller release? There's certainly nothing to announce on that front, BT. I think hardware train controller would be great. I use my rail driver on TS1. And guitars. Guitars are the best way of driving steam engines. In case you didn't know. On controllers, the up arrow button is used for Class 101, the gear up. D-pad up and down are gear controls. If I put HUD off on there, then you turn the HUD off every time you geared up. Any news on third party? So April 21st is the first third party release is coming out, Mark Murray, for BR204. What route is this, BT? This is Northern Transpennine. Do I have a favourite loco, Derek? This is my favourite on the Northern Transpennine, and the Class 101 is, I wouldn't say second, I'd say it's joint first. I'm not sure about other routes. The Taurus is good fun, the BR182 on German routes. It's got all the powers. Shed's good, yeah. I generally like freight stuff anyway. What's my least favourite BR logo? What, of all time? I have no idea. Seems like. They all have their redeeming features. Matt likes all trains, totally. I have a real difficulty trying to work out which train I like because I like all trains. Where are the other comments coming from? We're streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. So the other comments are coming from those other platforms. I've got one chat which shows me all three in one place. Although Mixer doesn't seem to be representing tonight. YouTube, however, and Twitch are representing. It looks like Stanage Tunnel is blocked, that's why I'm taking it gingerly up the hill. Main and distant or off. Yeah, free roams are tough with the way that TSW does things because it's got a slightly different or a very different signalling model that requires the dispatcher to actually manage it. You end up with a bit of a problem with free roam because then you can't just say make all the points manual. It just doesn't work like that. This is Diggle. Please read the chat more. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm also trying to drive a train. Oh, we're good. We're green all the way into the tunnel. Right, beans can be supplied now then. What did I miss from what you've been saying, Mike? Mike Dunning? Those of you who are saying, please make, when are you making, will you ever make, why don't you make? I'm not responding to all of you because otherwise I'd spend the entire stream saying the same thing over and over again. But I am reading what you're saying. Justin, ASI doesn't work on PC either. There isn't an ASI system in TSW. Stanage Tunnel. Any Easter eggs yet? No, I haven't had any Easter eggs yet. I haven't had dinner yet. I should probably fix that first. Of course I'm working tomorrow, Dimitri. Of course I'm working tomorrow. Careful, BT. Careful. PG trap. Keep it PG. He was probably using a mod just in Navarro. There are some people have made little mods with apps that run in the background. Not part of the core game though. Right, we're doing 60 miles now. Let's turn this on so that at least we've got something to look at. Can't hear me. Oh, why didn't someone say so? How's that? Is that better? Yes, BT. Everyone's working from home. Oh yeah, no, I'm not working tomorrow, Dimitri. What are you on about? It's tomorrow's bank holiday. Welcome back, Mike Dunning. Well, if Dimitri was in charge, I wouldn't get days off. No, bad guy. Dimitri's such a huge fan. He's messaging me all the time saying, Matt, when can we have? When can we have? I want this. Oh, Jordek, I'm well aware. Right, let's drop the speed down to the 40. Come on, train. Pretend like you're going to actually put some brakes on a bit more. Wow, vacuum brakes suck. They literally suck, yep. I'm not sure what the plans are regarding North Wales Coast, or indeed the new ones that are coming off on Tuesday. Is it, Dimitri? The Arriva stuff is coming off. So yeah, don't forget, if you want the Arriva stuff, you need to go and get that. You're running out of days rapidly if you want the amazing the Welsh Marches route, or the South Wales Coastal, or the other Arriva Loco add-ons. And it's all on sale as well, says Dimitri. Oh well, if you ever needed an excuse.
Bad guy would like flying pigs in TSW. I'm going to give that a firm no. And then do it anyway. You need a Battersea Power Station route, yeah, really. And a Pink Floyd soundtrack. Right, we've gone through Stanage Tunnel. So the route goes Manchester up, Stanage Tunnel, down to through Huddersfield, gets a bit further along, and then it goes back up again and heads for Morley, and then back down into Leeds. So it's kind of like a big bump, little bump. We're on our way down the big bump at the moment. Any plans for tomorrow? Yeah, streaming my dad's model railway, as I've been doing the last 3 days on my channel. We've done 3 full-day streams of all of us remotely driving the model railway, which has been going really well. Surprisingly, I wasn't sure how well that would go, but the friction has been minimal. TGV on TSW, yes. Nigel Penn, I will divert your attention to Dimitri for that question. I know nothing about such things. You don't want to see a TGV, Roy. Intercity blue yellow HSTs. Surprisingly, that's quite a lot of work, as it turns out. It needs new cab nose, new cab interior, new coaching interiors, and only then you can put the liquor paint on it. It's amazing how much difference there is. We are rolling 4 miles to Huddersfield. Oh, original orange TGV Crucible. Yes, I do like that. Classic original TGV. Oh, I don't disagree with you, Derek. The original HST that Sir Kenneth Grange designed was magnificent. And with the Paxman engines, that sound. We'll forget the pollution side of it and all the other problems, but Nigel Penn, no, Dad's Model Railway is streamed on my channel on Twitch. Right, we've got a 50 limit coming up, and then a little bit after that we get the drop to 15 into Huddersfield. Somewhere inside the 2 tunnels. When I was young, I always used to forget about the rear car Crucible. So you'd have this HST roar up in power as it left you, and be like, oh, it's amazing. And it would move away and the coaches would start coming past. And then you'd be like, oh, that was really good. And then suddenly this other power car went past you, like, where the heck did that come from? Quick view from the outside, absolutely. Let me just check my brakes and speeds and things. First Great Western reskin for HST 166. Yes, Bobs. Be good to get those out. What engine does the 58 have? I don't know. Wikipedia will probably tell you though, Tinge Slime, if you just look for Google search for Class 58 Wikipedia. B9bot, our DPU is going to be a thing in TSW. They already are on Sandpatch grade B9bot. The AC4400 utilises DPU. It's a simplified version of DPU, but it works. Did I have experience with Unreal before TSW, Dimitri? No, none at all. Other much more talented people than me learned it first, and I tinkered and annoyed them greatly, and then they did great things, and I just basically started playing the game they made. So we didn't stop, therefore we win. Why do something you can delegate to others? Well, when they're better at it than you are, it just feels like the right thing to do. That's why I'm streaming. I see what you're getting at there, Dimitri. You're admitting that I'm better at it. Is that what you're saying? You're getting reskins in TSW. There are, it's like for Class 66s in 2 different liveries, Gary Dino. There's no new reskins planned at the moment. I mean, my throat is always like this, NCL, STR. It's super annoying. There's new routes coming out all the time, Yorkshire lad. Keep an eye out on your whatever store you use for your game, and also the Dovetail Facebook and Twitter and so forth. Got the white light there. Let's turn the light on. You can see absolutely nothing at the moment. So bad guy, the game can actually do dynamic weather. It's just if you play Powering America Part 2, you'll see it does actually do it. But it's not been set up consistently in a lot of places, so it's something that needs to be done better. Right, we are swinging over to the left. There's a Gronk already sitting there waiting with our new load of wagons. Gronk driver's sitting there going, tappy tappy, tappy tappy, tappy tappy. That's fine, I've got nothing else to do today. More USA routes and locomotives. Got the ground signal as we switch over to the left.
I do like Huddersfield Station. Happy Easter to you too, Tom Sykes. I'm going to go get myself a drink when we stop here. This is going to be just about the end of NH09. Then the 08 comes and adds some wagons to the back, and then we get on and we carry on going. Oh, I was supposed to have stopped already. Oh, I was supposed to have stopped already. Fail! I forgot, I'm supposed to drop the rear 3 wagons off at the back of in the station. But that never happened. No one saw a thing. This probably isn't going to work. It did. No, it didn't. No! Right, let's pretend that went fine. Okay, let's pretend that went fine. This has been a really great stream, hasn't it? Everything has just worked beautifully. And what we'll do is we'll pretend that went fine. I'm just going to keep saying that. And we'll go straight to Newhaven 10, which is the second half of that service. Which we just about got to anyway. Right, so let's put the brakes on. I think we're in the wrong cab, aren't I? Yeah, let's go and check on this cab. Vacuum brake. Set to white front. No, wrong seat. You're not an American train today. Try and get the brakes released. Marker A, marker B, instrument. Oh, don't be like that. That's just me. Game is challenging me. It is. It is. I'm doing a bad job tonight. I'm doing a bad job. Oh. Why don't we actually try releasing the brakes? Just for the giggles. So what you were supposed to do there, right? Just say is come in, stop, drop these 3 wagons off, pull forward to here, and that's it. And then the 08 that was sitting over here comes and puts these wagons up behind you and wanders off, and then we get to go. It's much more impressive when it works and you're not being looked after by someone as incompetent as me. Right, we're rolling. We have power. Brakes are off. I drive too many German trains these days. I'm out of practice with the UK stuff. I feel the cure for this is to just spend a lot more time driving UK stuff. Just play the game more. I feel that's what I need to do. I was going to get a drink, wasn't I? I'll go and get a drink in a minute. Hey Don Wibley, how are you doing? Ah, JP clipped it. So mean.
Doing well, thank you, Rock and Roll Train. How are you doing? Don't encourage him, ECM2. Actually, like, for longer routes ever going to be made, and what's going on with the editor? No news on the editor to share, I'm afraid. Longer routes, as the team get better at, and making the routes at the right level, then so longer routes can come, but I've got nothing to announce on that stuff at the moment. But we are always trying to get techniques that deliver longer routes. We're trying something at the moment, actually, as it turns out. We'll see what that delivers. Some new tech, some new tools, some new training. We'll see whether or not that gets it to where we can deliver routes that are much longer. Route editor will not be available for console. No, Bob's Plays. It uses the Unreal 4 editor, and that's not even remotely possible to use on a console. North Wales Coastal would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Yeah, actually. Completely agree. Bread for me, it's not really current overprotection, but yeah, bad things happen when you do that. Dimitri, could you pop on YouTube for me and apply electroshock therapy? Much appreciated. See you later, Derek Poland. Sorry, I just saw your message. Right. So we're rolling down here. I can't remember whether I routed this train to swing left or to carry on to the right. We'll find out any minute now. I've no idea, actually. Not a clue. So I'm not swinging to the left. So we take the faster route here that's much slower later on as you go with the crossover. Just basically to add a bit of variety and to trip people up. It trips me up every single time, so that was an own goal. When did you start to like Pink so much? So back in the early days of LAN gaming, does anyone remember LAN gaming? Before there was much of an internet. We used to play a game called Need for Speed 3. Not the original Need for Speed 3. We're talking a long time ago now. And one day I accidentally clicked the wrong colour for my car, and it became bright pink. And everyone was laughing so much, and they wouldn't let me change it. They said, no, you have to drive with the car you've got. And they were all laughing so much. And I won that race. Because they were paying so much attention to my car being pink and how apparently embarrassing that was for me, that they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. And I quickly realised that if I do something in pink, I'm at an immediate advantage because it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I think it's quite cool. But everybody else is out of their mind because of the pink. And so basically I do everything in pink nowadays. I also think it's an underappreciated colour. That was Mathmo's profiling.
Do I have a pink car? No. I have thought about getting my car wrapped or resprayed, but my wife thought that might be the pushing it one bit too far. Well, it always used to be the other way round, Roy. Pink was the boy's colour and blue was the girl's colour. Yeah, sorry, Bryn said the same thing, yeah. Oceanagate DLC, yeah, indeed. They've got a, do you see their new one? They've got a new pink shunter. It's Gravita, I think, a Voith Gravita. Gorgeous! Somewhere down here there's a crossover. It always catches me out because it's like a 15 miles per hour crossover. Whenever I play Wreckfest, I have cards in camo pink. Doesn't seem to be working though. Crucible, yeah, it was you that put it in the Discord. Yes, it was. I can't spot Discord. Is the picture slightly out of focus? Shouldn't be. It's looking fine on my system. Let's get some more sounds. He has a yellow. On XSplit, it's all looking crystal clear. Is it okay for everybody else, or? Yeah, if you don't know what a LAN party is, you missed out. It's fine now, is it, mate? Good. Excellent. Did you just put your different glasses on? Right, there's a passenger. It looks like there's a train coming down on the main. There it is. I'm waiting for a buggy! Really? You're holding me, a beautiful Whistler, up for a buggy? There's going to be a rumble when I get back to the signal depot. Oh, get drink, yeah. Back in a sec. Brew time! I got a can of brew. Oh.
Brew. Can't believe I'm being held up for a 2-car bogey. I did an epic fails. I called it the Failer. That's a kind of trailer, play on trailer. So I have got a Failer video, but I haven't done any more since then. Obviously, I've not failed since then, so it's all good. Ever, not once. My regulars will all attest to the fact that I've just not failed since then. I tried to not do very well and I succeeded. Therefore, there were no failures. It's all about positioning and spin. Oh, Stephen Jam did Eclipse Collection as well. Yes, he did. Is that it sitting in the... Yeah, there he is, sitting up there. Like, come on, hurry up. Right, it's clear of the junctions. Get on with it, Mr. Dispatcher. Thank you. Ouch, Baked Bean Kid. Oh, the bird. That was me expressing my disappointment in the form of horn. Will the 204 be in the in-game store? Yes, Arsenal fan, it should be in the in-game store. Iron Brew 1901. No, what's that? Right, let's get moving. We're on the level bit now, and then it starts on the climb very shortly for the second of the hills. Exterior views. Ooh, let's have a look at that. It's wagon. Look at that magnificent beast. Is that Colonel Cam? Hey, Matt Gamer. Flyby, you say? Watch me want to stop at a station when I fly by. I am brewing a glass bottle based on original recipe. Oh, wow. Might have to try some of that. I mean, they've only just changed the recipe, so Original recipe is not that big of a deal. Mark Murray, fixing smoke is actually one of the things that needs to be done as part of the whole work on Steam. You got to Paddington in 19 minutes. Good going. Good going. Feels like we just ramped up the other engines somehow. Back in the green. Oh, we're getting there. Has everyone gone and picked up the Arriva stuff if you want it? You've got time running out. Go and have a look at some other stuff as well. Big Easter sale is on at the moment. Did Dimitri zap himself on YouTube? No, did he? He's still awake, Dimitri. No. Okay. No, Dimitri's not awake. Are there going to be Class 50s for Train Sim World? I would assume so at some point, UK Dons, but there's no plans to announce about when and anything. A bit of Hoover action would be good. Peter McDonald, I love the stream. Happy Easter. I love it when you stream on weekends so you can watch. Being at East Coast US, always working. We do weekday streams and watch them after the live. Oh, well, welcome to the stream, Peter. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Dimitri was in that signal box. Just I didn't blow the horn because I didn't want to wake him up. That's how considerate I am. Okay? This is how considerate I am. Do you add milk to a teapot directly or to a mug? No, you can't ask that question. No one can ask that question. You put it in the mug. And you put them in after you put the water in. Don't make upside down tea. I want Dimitri to do a stream now where he makes a cup of tea by adding the milk into the teapot. It feels like this needs to be a thing. Morley Tunnel. Well, you don't have to use upside down coffee to not burn the coffee. You could just not tell water that's too hot to the coffee. That's what I do. I boil the kettle and leave it for a bit. Baked bean kid, and always add the milk after you have poured the tea. Baked bean kids, sir, I have respect. I know some people add milk and sugar to the tea while the tea bag's in there. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like the idea of milk and the tea bag touching. I don't know why that is. Just don't like the idea of the milk and the tea bag touching. I'm just weird. I'm happy to accept that. So Harry, have you ever played Roblox? Yeah, my daughter and her friend roped me into playing some games on Roblox. They were really upset when I started to do really well at them. Ever played Microsoft Train Sim? Yes. Will TSW be available on PS5? There's no announcements on that one, Mark, so if that's going to be a basis for your decision, I would wait until there are announcements. I bought some very expensive Kentish tea on a whim and enjoying it while counting pennies. Very nice. My favourite tea, actually, and I haven't had one in ages, is to have like it's from a company called T2, and get like oolong. Oolong's my favourite tea, and just have the loose leaf tea. Put it in the thing, boil the water, cool it down, put it into the give it the 3 minutes into the mug. Happiness and joy. Apparently they used to put milk in the cup because fine bone china and porcelain would crack with boiling water. Well, there you go. I would just have to not use fine bone china and porcelain and we'll be good. Good tea has to be brewed in a pot. It does. The best tea comes from a teapot. Totally agree. I can't be bothered though. Ruben, when are you going to add Metro North and NJ Transit to TSW? I don't have any announcements on that, Frank, I'm afraid. Ricky, I absolutely love TSW. What's your favourite route on TSW and why? Yours is Tees Valley with a 101. I would like to see Scottish route, maybe Glasgow, Edinburgh. Yes, stay safe yourself, Ricky. I struggle to find a favourite. My favourite German route is Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr, followed by MSB. My favourite UK route is probably this one, followed by Tees, because I like BR Blue, diesels. My favourite American route, Long Island and Peninsula Corridor, maybe? Notice you asked me for a favourite route and I gave you 6. And I think that was being pretty decisive, to be fair. We need a pink train, yeah, Yeoman, totally. Oh, 25, we're almost at Leeds. It's not on sale anymore, Justin. It used to be called Flight Sim World. Hey, Stephen Jam, how you doing?
The updates come out whenever there's something to be said. So if you just add the Facebook page, add the Twitter thing, the Twitter twit, and just keep an eye on. If you sign up for the newsletter, it's the best bit. Go into Dovetail Games, Dovetail Live, which is live.dovetailgames.com, and create an account if you haven't already. Log into it and then sign up for the newsletters. That way, if there's news, you just get emailed it. The 166 is Freightliner, yes. It's splendid. I've left this a little bit late. Oh no, I haven't. 0.9 miles to the 25. Morocco, yeah, so far so good. Everyone's safe. We're staying indoors, going out once a week for a. Well, I'm going, or Sarita's going out. One of us at a time, going out for a shopping trip, and it's all working well. The kids have got another week off on their Easter break, and then they're going to restart. Victoria will be starting live classes apparently over the internet when she gets when they. When I say go back, they're obviously still off school, but they're still supposed to be doing school stuff. Alright. Release the brakes before we stop, please. Twitch praise algebra homework. .25 limit, followed very swiftly by a 20 limit. Twitch does PE. Oh my word. My daughter would never speak to me again. Lord Winter, you're now at level 85. Nice. I think I'm like 94 or something. But I know someone who's like on level 500. What level are you all at in TSW, folks? Let's have a shout out of what level you are in TSW. $32.12. Arsenal Fan TV is 103. Bobs doesn't know. Zedar Lee 113. Cayman level 205. Steve J 109. Amtrak 186. Pentacone 147. This is some pretty impressive level numbers. Wow. Yorkshire Lad level 364. We have a winner so far. 364 is the highest one so far. Stephen Jam's got to load up the game and check. Peter McDonald 16. I initially wanted to know if that was level minus 16, but that didn't seem right, so I reread it. Tinged Lime 15. Lucas is 40. $82 104. Ruben 93. So there's a couple of exceptionals there, but quite a few of you around the 100. Proper dedication, that is. Right, 10. JP, for level 42 is both a musical group and the answer to everything. Therefore, it is a valid answer. Oh, I'm sure you're not used to this rock and roll train. As long as it's more than Baked Bean Kids level, you're doing well. Mark Murray 110. Fullerton's almost to 12. Rapid Transit is a good way to level up. Actually, you get big score for the Rapid Transit and Peninsula Corridor. Both of them give big score on each of their services. What computer do you use? It's a Chill Blast machine. It's running a 980 Ti graphics card and an i7 6th generation CPU, running at 4.6 gigahertz. Bit of a older machine now, but it still runs very well. If this lockdown carries on, you possibly get another 60. Yeah, 6700K graph speed. That's the one. See you later, Sir Harry. Level 37, Stephen Jam. Now you feel like a noob? No. Like I said, as long as your level's above Baked Bean Kids, you're all good. Baked Bean Kid said his level was 1. Wasn't sure I was going to stop, so anchors were thrown out. I'd like to not fail something today. Yay, we didn't fail something. Here you go. Level 96. I might have a little party or pat myself firmly on the back when I get to 100. Need to get the freight pack. Yes, you need to get the freight pack. Totally. Jackson, yours is level 27. Dimitri congratulating me on not failing something this evening. Yes. Is there a max level? No, there is not, Gregory. Jeff, thank you very much for the mix of sparkly things. And more mix of sparkly things. GG hype. Sockdown is ideal work. 2 days, then 5 days to play TSW. Rinse and repeat. There you go. No idea, mostly enjoy scenery. Absolutely. And why not? Right. I think that's it. Dimitri, is that it? Is there anything else you want to do? Is there another route you want to do? I don't mind doing another one if someone wants to pick another one. But I think we're done. I enjoyed that. I love playing TSW. Do we all love playing TSW? East Coastway. Oh, up to you. Let's do some East Coastway. Let's do some East Coastway. I fancy a bit of East Coastway. We've done Grumbly Diesels. Let's change it up and do one on East Coastway. And we will do a 377. Bit of cloud, bit of wind. And we will do a Seaford service. We shall do a Seaford service. Brighton to Seaford. Just a little one. At 9:40 AM. There aren't any 12 car ones. No, it's only the 4 and the 8 cars that are set up to go down this route. The 12 cars are the London trains. Unlock the doors. Well, first of all, I'm going to go over here and 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to 1, 2, and do that one. Now we're good. Now we can open the door. We're a 4-car unit. Doors are open. We're set destination for Seaford. Don't have to worry about that. Cab is off. Headlights need to be on day running. Rear lights need to be on auto.
I think I can quit fiddling now. Andrew Fisk, any chance of DLC prices being reduced? Funny you should say that. There's a huge sale on at the moment. On the Steam store, anyway. I don't think, Dimitri, there isn't anything on the console stores at the moment, is there? Are they doing an Easter thing? Stopping is a bit hit and miss. Practice, Sprin. Practice. It's all about practice. Oh, it's the depot whistle. Was it down here? Where's the depot? There it is. Sounds like a panpipe. There was an Xbox sale which ended today, but that's been going for a while. I don't think there's any new console sales. Easter sale on Steam, however, is in full swing. There you go. Dimitri has given you the full details. I could press that forever. There's just something really satisfying about that button. I'm going to drive myself completely up the wall, let alone you lot. Change the destination display texture. Don't you like it? Let's close the doors. Everybody on board. You know you want it. It's time to ride the fun train. I tell them that after I've shut the doors. So now they're all sitting there in abject terror. Hey Brian King, how are you doing? My wife's from Massachusetts, from Concord. Spam the guard buzzer on departure to feel accomplished. Yes. See you later. Yes. The signal button is there to signal back to if you've got a guard, which obviously you don't on this. But if you've got a guard, it's basically your acknowledgement. They would beep you to say, right, you're ready to go now. You'd beep to say, yes, thank you for that, I understand. Letters on the front are too big. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yes, I'm aware of that. These things always get iterated and improved over time. Ruben, you want to see an M3 on the Long Island? Nice. I like those older multiple units like that. They've got a bit more of an agricultural feel to them. Clunky somehow. It's like modern trains distill all of the character out of a train. You know, in the name of cost efficiencies, fuel efficiencies, customer comfort, strange things like that. Rail enthusiasts should come first. Imho. Why doesn't the driver door? Because feedback we keep getting is people don't like that. They don't like the doors auto shutting. They want to leave the doors open. So we make them so that they stay open now. Is there a timetable to connect couple two trains together? There is. I can't remember where it is, but there's some depot services, Megasim, where two fours get coupled and then you take them into the depot at Lovers Walk. No, we're going to Seaford, Bob's Place. I just thought I'd do a short service. Not that run to Eastbourne is particularly long. But I always go to Eastbourne, so I thought I'd have a change. Were you having issues walking through gangways on 377? I was under the impression that was fixed, AFS 5, so if it isn't, raise the support ticket. Will it ever be possible to control passenger density? So passenger density directly affects frame rate quite badly.
And not only that, the logic for the passengers is quite simple, which means that if you fill up the platforms, they all just start bumping each other off onto the track. They're really quite rude, frankly. So there's that kind of thing all needs to be improved, and then it all needs to run at a better frame rate, and then we'll start getting more passengers. Moulscombe, 1 mile. I've picked a train that stops at every blade of grass, haven't I? It's better. Get some sounds. Seaford trains stop at every station. There you go. Thank you, Megazone. I tell you, the bit that does my head in on this route is Lewis, the 10 miles an hour bit. Really crazes me. Going through it at 10 miles an hour. However, Atlantic Terminal at 5 miles an hour is half as good. Yes, the 10 miles per hour is real. Trust me, I questioned it, Megasim. I questioned that. I was like, that can't be real. Went over to the signal. I literally went over to the guy who does the signalling. I was like, that can't be real. What have you done? And he showed me all the diagrams, and he'd done it right, and I was wrong. So I apologised and walked away with my tail firmly between my legs. Shall we have a look for collectibles? No, get down. Oh, that was a ticket machine. That's a poster. I think we've done them all over on here. Oh, man. It's almost time to go. Quick, run! Get out of the way. Oh, got 3 minutes. Right, let's have a look on the other side of the tracks then. So it's like doing the Death Star thing, you know, where they have to the trench dive thing. So something over here we can collect. I need a collectible. I feel like I need a collectible. That's a poster. That's not a collectible. That's not a collectible. Where are all the collectibles? 9:51. We have time. We have time. I was really playing it dangerous there. They were probably going to be pushing me off in front of a train, weren't they? Hey there, Train Sim fan. How are you doing? I do believe I found all the collectibles at this station. What else am I supposed to do then? Wait for 60 seconds. Get out of my way, please. Driver coming through. You don't have to apologise for being a French Train Sim fan. Although you'd have to talk in English because I can't understand French. I'll have a go. I will probably fail. Yeah, we're all still here, Train Boy. Oh, that sounds like that hasn't been entered into the database then. Which route is that one? The BLE route? No, you don't want to depart early because the route hasn't actually been set.
Well, I guess it must be because I've got a green signal, so it should be alright. Less than a minute to go. Rivet Games developed the BR204 on their own. We gave them access to the tools. There's 2 or 3 developers that have got access to it. Yes, they've got... they obviously, we helped them where they had questions. Oh, Bessemer and Lake Erie. Sorry, yes. But no, 204 is their own work. It's like an old bus or a tram. Am I streaming tomorrow? I'll be streaming my model railway tomorrow. I'll be streaming my dad's model railway tomorrow. On my stream. All day. Same as the last couple of days. Last 3 days. Who's next? Fulmer. You should probably ask Rivet Games that if you want, Ruben. I can't speak for Rivet Games. How are people feeling about daily streams? What does people think about that? Dimitri's got this really cool idea about doing daily streams. Daily Dovetail streams. And if you like the idea, then what do you want to see? But Dimitri has to do them. Train boy, I like how your mind works. Do I work on Train Sim World? I do. I'm a senior producer for Train Sim World. I work with a team of brilliant people that do all the hard work. I noticed Dimitri's gone quiet at this point. So when routes are developed, do you guys actually go to railroads and map the areas? Usually. No, it's not always possible. So Long Island, it wasn't possible. But yes, usually we'll send a team out to go and survey a route. And we're early again. Live tutorials, tips and trick stuff. That's a good idea. Dimitri, can you start a thread on the forum perhaps about what kinds of things people would like to see on the thread, on the streams? And then people can go and add something into there about the sorts of things. We can build up a wish list of things then to start including. It's not a cough though, Uriel. It's just my throat constantly needing clearing. It's really annoying. A 117. You know what I'd like to see personally on Northern Transpennine is a 110. You're not the one to teach trips and tricks. I know, but we can both do the streams, Dimitri. If we get the list of what people want, we can figure out how we do it. I am here. I can't help. Eight, 9... Lewis and the joyous 10 miles an hour. We've got Class 110 running around on my dad's model railway. It's brilliant. I love them. They're just different because they've got that sort of flat front. Who would do the streams yet? I don't know at this point, Tordek. Remember, there's 3 of us. There's me, Dimitri, and there's Sam. Plus, anybody else may come out of the woodwork in the company and say they want to help. Stranger things have happened. .7 miles. Get back under the speed limit. Stop stealing my points. You went for a nap, True Quaker? Amazing. Welcome back. Are there other routes for this stream? No, this is going to be the last one, I think, tonight. We've been going for just about 3 hours now. Mario, so the correct destination names are there on the 4-2... I can't remember what the numbers are now. 4-2... Ah, my brain stopped working. What's on Alpstrecker? 422 and a 425. That's it. Sorry. They've got the right destination names, but the ones that the trains that are actually from a different route, the main Specibahn trains, they don't. They haven't got the trains because the route wasn't out, so they weren't added to the list. Powering America Part 1 and 2 next, yeah. Dimitri might start losing his sense of humour. I'd like some dinner at some point as well, I'm honest. 1.5 miles. You got all the collectibles in East Coastway, Southwest. Nice! Ah yes, speed reductions. I should pay attention to those, shouldn't I? Another community challenge while we're on lockdown. That's actually a really good idea. A lockdown challenge to keep everybody at home, protecting the NHS and saving lives. And running virtual trains. Yeah, the government need to add that into their slogan, don't they? Stay home, protect the NHS, save lives, and run virtual trains. Can routes technically be extended, or are they permanently in the form they're released in? So there's logistics. So technically a route can be extended, but then it would be given free to everybody. And, well, that's a great thing. It doesn't pay for the people's time that actually did it. So what you then want to do is have some way that you would have a second product which adds on to the original product, and maybe even works as its own product as well. So that's where extensions need to go. Something like that. No, Train Boy, just because you said it, not doing it. Cheers, Edgy. Stay safe yourself. Right, we're in Slowtown.
You ruined it, Train Boy. I don't hate you at all. What are you talking about? You just seem to be getting really, really worried about it, so I just thought I'd take that worry away from you. It's because I care. Yeah, it's because I care. Wow, I really needed to have left the door open. I'm dying in the heat. Things I never thought I'd be saying this month. Number 1. Will we get more trains coming to PS4? Yes, in fact the next one comes out on April 21st and is a German shunter called a BR204. Part of the problem with Southwest is I just haven't drunk enough today, so my throat is dry, and now I'm talking a lot. I'm just drying it out even more. I'm really, really bad at drinking. See you later, Bryn Parkman. I don't know why I'm giving it all the beans. We're still in a 10. Will Setland Carlisle be interesting as well? Yeah, Bob's. Personally, I prefer it in like a 1930s LMS or Midland region setting. Like the old Skipton to Carlisle route that Pat Dalton and Malcolm Roper did on MSTS. That was just fantastic. Cheers, Nigel. Much appreciated. Matthias W. Easter egg hunt around routes. Maybe we should do a collectibles mastery challenge, because it's a bit like doing Easter egg hunt. Cheers, Mark Murray. Much appreciated. Glad you enjoyed. No freight goes to Brighton. No, Andrew. This really isn't a freight route. We just found a bit of freight that we could do on it. I think in reality that service isn't twice a day, it's once a week. If someone has got all 100 collectibles on all of the routes, I bow down to that person, James Bailey. That's amazing. And there are some people who've got lots of the collectibles. Actually, I know one person who does have all the collectibles on the route. That'd be Peachlick, because he does all the guides for them. Jeff Dooman eats daily student cake session about an hour. Yeah. Ah, no, 40 limit. Wake up, Matt. Wake up. Stop looking at chat. It's jobs now. Sorry, yes, it's jobs now. Is there going to be a new modern British route in 2020? Well, let's find out, shall we, Southwest? Let's find out. Oh yes, back up to 70. See, I'm watching the chat. I'm trying to interact with you guys. Oh look, the fields are looking a bit empty today. They're just new. Looks like they're new sprouted crops.
One question: Peninsula or a German route? What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy, Zedgy? For me, it would depend on how much time I've got, because Peninsula Corridor really needs a reasonable bit of time to invest in it. Whereas the German routes vary. So Hauptstrecke, you've got quite a variety of different times that you can do. So naturally, I would gravitate towards Hauptstrecke and Main-Spessart-Bahn as my top two favourite routes in Germany. But you're not going to go wrong with Peninsula Corridor. Even more so if you can get the Baby Bullet and the MP15. They add so much more variety to what's going on the route. You don't need them, but... Well, hopefully Dimitri can get a forum post made, and we can get some ideas for what you guys want to see on the Dovetail daily streams, well, we'll try and put something together. I mean, are there services or... sometimes it might be a service that's hard, that you found was really tricky, and so you can say, play this, in this weather, like this. It was hard. Show me what you do. I challenge thee. The gauntlet is thrown. That kind of thing. Sometimes it's, you know what, I can't figure out how you do this scenario or service. You do it and tell me out and show me. It might be, how do you drive this train? Give me an overview of this train. What are the things that make you struggle a bit? What are the things that... What are your highlights when you run this scenario? You say, run this scenario in this weather, or service in this weather at this time of day. It's just glorious. What are the great highlights as well? What are your favourite moments in the game that you think you want to share with everybody? All sorts of things that could be done. So tell us which are your moments of your highlights, your lowlights, where you get stuck. PZB demonstration, yeah, they're quite tough. The 101 is glorious. Absolutely glorious. New Haven Town on 1012. .7 miles away, and we take the branch line over to Seaford. What's the key for gears on the one? By default, it's Control A and Control D. It matches up with the accelerate, decelerate. If you're on the controller, it's just D-pad up, D-pad down. Actually, the 101 is super to drive on the controller. Really nice. On Xbox, the Class 66 needle. Which needle would that be, Southwest? There are many needles on a Class 66. There's two 66s and there's therefore 4 cabs as well. Yep, we're going to Seaford, Bobs. Is there a live stream for the German shunter? I'm going to pass that question over to my colleague Dimitri. I expect so, but I don't know any details. You can't figure out the brakes of the 101. See, there's a nice topic. How do you do manually lapped brakes? Because that applies to the F40PH-2 Cat on Peninsula Corridor and to the Class 101 on Northern Transpennine and Tees. See, they don't have a Class 101. They've got a mixture of a Class 115 and a 117. I think it's 2 carriages from a 115 and 2 from a 117 is what the West Somerset have got. But yes, I take your point. Like a lot of things, I think, Jan Rosliniak, if a train is difficult, then when you step up to that difficulty and you figure it out, it is so much more rewarding.
So I'm not aware of any issues southwest. So best bet would be to raise a support ticket or perhaps drop a post on the forums. But I'd recommend a support ticket, and someone can take a look. Is this in a particular service or scenario that you're seeing this? Right, we're going past the thing place that I can't remember what it does now. Is it sand? How does one go about raising a support ticket? Dimitri, can you post a link to raising a support ticket? It's dovetailgames.kayako.com, if I remember rightly. Is the support system. Gravel, that's it. OG905, it's gravel. Yeah, I know what you mean, Ruben. I'm aware of the issue. It's on a list somewhere. Thank you, Dimitri. Dimitri's posted the link to the support system. Go onto the support system and you can raise tickets there. Aurora area merge. Yeah, that'd be a big old network. There's a couple more routes to do to get the full thing in, but I would see that as a long-term personal goal. It's not the reason that all the routes have been in the same area, but having gone this far. Cutting closure scenario. Right, I'll make sure you're following the instructions very carefully on the cutting closure scenario. Otherwise it won't work. But that scenario does work on the Xbox. But you do have to follow the instructions very carefully. New Haven Harbour. Do you know what I do? Luke Alexander saying capture thingy, if you get it wrong, you have to type it all again. In any system like that, even a forum post, I write my posts into a notepad. And then I copy paste them in, and I press the button. If it doesn't work, I don't have to type it in again. Little tip. Life hack, if you will. 300 yards. Another little trick. There's a little utility you can get for free called Notepad++. Notepad++. If you just use that to create all of your notes in it, it will. And let's say your machine crashes, it auto saves whatever you've got in there. Even if you haven't pressed the save, even if you haven't given it a file name, it will still auto-save. So when the machine comes back up, you load up Notepad++, and there's all the stuff that you had, and you thought, oh no, I've lost all my notepads. It's all sitting there. It's a brilliant tool. When you release the BBC Needle 2.5, the needle doesn't move in the front cap. You know what? Sorry, Dimitri. I'm going to just run the first part of the cut and closure scenario after this and show you what you need to do. Only take 10 minutes. Oh, sitting here staring at the screens and not looking at the bit that I need to actually see. You prefer context? I used to use that, but I used to use it a lot. But I like context now. Sorry, Notepad++. Right, let's turn left and head for Bishopstone on the Seaford branch. Are there more third-party developers developing trains or routes at this moment? I can't talk about that, I'm afraid. There may or may not be. Are we going to have a new Vive versus Emacs argument for the modern era? well, clearly it was Vi that was better. I mean, Vi is superior in all respects, but the other one I use occasionally is Slime. Because sometimes when I'm doing localization work in the game, I don't really do that so much anymore, but when I used to do localization work, I've got source and destination and tons of files open on source and destination. And so I would have Slime open with, I think it's Slime, with all of my source files, and Notepad++ open with all my destination files, and then I can easily copy paste between them. And some of the ways that Slime works are they're different, but they're quite interesting. Escape :Q exclamation mark Crucible. It's not hard. Sadly, my capture card's not working, so I can't run it and show it to you working on the capture card, on the console, but I will run it on the PC. If you then compare it with what you do, so play it and then later on and run the video. Of course, you interpret that as you can't close the editor. Yeah, well, English language and all that. NDI, I'm actually using NDI right now, Steven Jam, because my capture card doesn't work. I don't know what's wrong with it. Even using the Dovetail streaming PC, it won't work. The capture card will not work. I don't understand. Doing me head in, it is. Doing me head in. So yeah, I'm using NDI at the moment. It works really well, actually. You prefer Nano? I've never got used to Nano, Crucible. But I stopped using text editors at on Unix a long time ago. Joe is my favourite editor on Linux. Which is basically a WordStar clone. What is this branch? This is the Seaford branch. So we've driven all the way down here. We're now on this little bit going down here onto Seaford. NDI is network display interface. It's effectively like a capture card, but it does over the network instead. Oh, let's shut the right door, shall we? Joe stands for Joe's Own Editor in true GPL acronym style. But I cut my teeth on the WordStar control command set, so as everybody in the stream was probably looking at me blankly going, what's WordStar? WordStar and WordPerfect from back in the days when you didn't have Word. WordPerfect and WordStar were the top two word processing tools. To be clear, we are better off with Word. But once you've learned to control KB, control KK, control KX, you know, how can you not use them? It's so intuitive. Control KB was to mark the beginning of a block. Control KK marked the end of a block, which you would do in Word by click drag. Suddenly we're into WordStar tutorials. What buffers, Train Boy? Does Alt F4 work on that program? No, because WordStar is pre-Windows. So no, Alt F4 did not work on that program. Right, so I think that's the end of this one, and then I'm just going to run the beginning of cut enclosure, because that's where you're having the problem, isn't it? The beginning of cut enclosure, where you're trying to get the train moving. Woohoo! I've got an achievement as well. Scenarios, cut enclosure, go. Nigel Pent, glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping in. I'm not going to run this whole scenario. I'm just going to show you the beginning of it to highlight the bit that most people generally seem to get wrong. It is confusing, but the instructions are there. Welcome to Brighton. We've called you in to assist with an incident that occurred overnight near Lewes. A report came in of a landslide near one of the tunnels. Engineers are already on site, and this train has been arranged to assist with the clean-up. This is a top and tail service. So the first thing we need to do is to prep the brakes in this end. Hey, Southwest. Right, so let's go up here and climb up and go in and sit down. Right, you notice up here it says, right, set up the lead locomotive, navigate to brake cutout, which is this one. So we use the arrow keys. These are the arrows up here. Use the arrow key to move it right, move it down to brake cutout. F3 says press select. Right, change the brake type to cut in. Press F2. Now it says brakes are cut in. Right, let's come out of that and go to the other loco. Whoa, hello. Looking at chat, walking into things. Right, now what we're doing is we're going into the back here just to do a brake test. So we do the same thing again. Switch the isolation switch to run. Put the reverser key in. Right, again, move the arrow keys over and down to brake cutout. Select. And cut in the brakes by pressing this option here, which matches with F2. So these functions here match with the options that are here. So F2 will do that, what it says there, cut in. So you click that, it now confirms the brakes are cut in. Right, this is the PBL brake system. This is the PBL brake controller. If you hold it and release, you can see that the outer needle is now moving and we're now releasing the brake. Wait. Up to 5 bar. The airflow indicator tells us air is moving. Brakes are coming off, air has finished moving. Right, now we cut the brakes out again. We have tested that we can release the brakes properly on this end. Cut the brakes out and exit that menu. Remove the master key and head back to the other end. Right. You asked what the exhauster was, by the way, Train Boy. It's this scenario. Compare the steps that I'm following exactly with what you're doing. Run the video on your phone or something and do exactly the same things. I've done this on my console and it does work. Sit in the driver's seat. Right, now I need to flick the 4 switches on, put the reverser in, move it forward. I now need to switch this back to the main menu. And now if I release this over here, the number one reason why when you operate this lever nothing happens is because the brakes are cut out still. The brakes need to be cut in. So when you go into the EM2000 display, up here, look for brake cutout and press select, which is F3, and make sure that says brakes cut in. If that says brakes cut in, then the needle should work fine. Right, apply power. We'll do the end change at the other side just to repeat the process in reverse. We've got the ground signal. Oh, I won't put AWS on for this bit. Do I drive without the HUD? No. I am not brave enough to drive without the HUD. We're still on East Coastway, train boy. So we're at Lovers Walk Depot here. So this is Brighton here, and we are just coming in from Lovers Walk Depot into Brighton. There's Brighton there with the two canopies. There's wiper controls somewhere. I can't remember where they are though. Hot plate, that's the important one. Wiper. Right, let's coast in. Is there still a difference between GW and ECW versions of Class 66? There is, yes. ICN, do you advise to buy the Hauptstrecker line in Germany? I'm going to refrain from a recommendation on that one, purely on the basis that I'm obviously going to say yes. And I'm going to push that one out to the viewers. Would you recommend that ICN 2005 buys Hauptstrecker Rhein-Ruhr? I love Hauptstrecker Rhein-Ruhr, but I'm supposed to say that. Even though it's true. I'm supposed to say that too. Right. I don't like giving recommendations because I'm obviously horrendously biased. But I do like that route. I've got a yes. Variety of services over is great. Luke Alexander thinks it's overpriced. 822 Steam says yes. Valentin says you love the Hauptstrecker Rhein-Ruhr too. I'm going to crash into these buffers because I'm not paying attention. Or stop perfectly. Ish. Right, following the instructions again, move into neutral. And hold it into release until it gets to 5 bar. Now we've cut the brakes out on this end so that they're out of control. So the arrows are still on brake cutout. And we cut the brakes out. So these lever now does nothing. And let's pull the lever out while we're here. That then forces these brakes to then naturally apply. And I think that's everything I need on that cab. Let's come through. Wander to the other end. I'm going through it a little bit quickly, but I'm also explaining what I'm doing. So if when you have a go at this yourself, you have it on your phone or something, listen to it as you go. The key thing to check is that the brakes are cut in. D. Keen says that's a big yes. Right. I really like the 425. It sounds amazing. Right, so again, following our instructions, let's click all of those three on, put that in and move it forward. Over here, I'm going to make sure the arrows are on brake cutout and hit select. If it's not, then just use these arrow keys to move it around. The brakes are currently cut out. Let's cut the brakes in and exit from that screen. Brakes are now applying. I now need to release these brakes. And you'll notice that the brakes are now releasing. Hey Jim Oates, how's it going? Did you get all your add-ons alright? Assuming I'm remembering names correctly. Right, we've now got the light, we've got the signal, the brakes are confirmed to be off, and we apply a little bit of power, is all we should need, and we are rolling. One thing I would also recommend is, when you have done messing about with the brakes, because you had to in this instance, once you've got rolling at a slow speed, cut the power. And just see whether or not you keep rolling.
And you'll notice that we are still rolling. That way you're testing to see if the brakes are dragging. And you're not just hauling on the brakes. Because even with the minimum amount of power, you should be able to get going. And if you put the power off, you should keep rolling. Just to make sure that you're not dragging brakes. And if you are dragging brakes, stop and figure out why. Otherwise, it'll just cause you more problems further on down the line. Get the train joke there? And remember to set your lights, yeah. Yeah, who needs lights? Right, okay. That's it. Does that make sense? The key thing to remember is over on here, use the arrow keys to move the arrows around here, the marker. Press the select key, make sure that this says brakes cut in. If that says brakes cut out, then the lever will do nothing. You press that button there, F2, to get it to say brakes cut in or cut out accordingly. Alright. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to let us know what you'd like to see on daily streams. I'm not sure what the plan is to start doing those, but do let us know what you want to see, and we'll do our best. All right, folks, stay safe, stay at home, and we will see you on the next stream. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.